This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
It's Monday, November 30th. Thanks so much for opening the covers of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Alison Watson. Round 2 with the kids. They continue to weigh in on the topic children and nutrition. Later on in the program, find out just who are eating their fruits and vegetables. But before them, AIDS said to be a major economic issue. Health Minister pleads for more blood donation this Christmas, and Prime Minister expresses concern about the restructuring of international financial institutions. Do stay with us. The news in detail after this break.
This is my appeal, Jamaica. Give blood for it.
Give blood and give the gift of life. So safe you don't have to think twice. Do what you can for one another.
Yeah, man.
Be a hero, be a blood donor.
Yeah, me people. Watch it. Give blood. For your sister and your brother, save the life of another. You might never know. Give blood. As you love a life, you love many people. One blood. The Father says so.
One blood.
Sign up today. Be a blood donor. Many people. One blood.
And now the news. The deadly HIV/AIDS virus is now being tackled as an economic problem and not just a health issue. Financial Secretary Dr. Wesley Hughes says while the health sector is directly impacted when persons are affected by the virus, they are unable to productively contribute to the economy.
The ILO sees the problem no longer as just a health issue, but also a development issue with wide-ranging and complex economic, social, and cultural implications. The loss of productive workers diminishes the country's ability to sustain economic growth and development.
Between 1982 and 2008, some 24,000 cases of HIV/AIDS were reported in Jamaica. At the end of last year, some 27,000 men and women in the island were living with the disease.
HIV/AIDS affects the most productive segment of the workforce. That is the age group 15 to 49.
The Financial Secretary says if the infection rate is not reduced, there will be less skilled persons available for jobs in the public or private sector. Dr. Hughes was speaking at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Services Health and Wellness Fair held last Friday. The Wellness Fair was held under the theme, "Can you support someone living with HIV/AIDS? Yes, I can." Meanwhile, Minister of Health Rudyard Spencer is urging Jamaicans to donate at least 1 pint of blood to the National Blood Bank. He is encouraging the donation in light of the imminent Christmas season. The holiday period traditionally sees a spike in the number of motor vehicle accidents and demand on the country's blood supply.
The life you save might be your very own. None of us knows whether we'll need that donation at some time in the future. I appeal therefore to all persons who are healthy and able to donate blood to do so at a collection center nearest you.
The minister was speaking during a handing over ceremony for some critically needed blood bags and suction machines. The donation was made to the blood bank by Food for the Poor.
Today, we are receiving the gifts of 6,825 blood bags and 60 suction machines. The total cost of these gifts is some US $61,624, or close to 5.5 million Jamaican dollars.
The health minister explains that the blood bags are able to store some 25,000 pints of the precious commodity. Although this is less than needed, he says it will allow the blood bank to maintain its national blood drive. In regional news, there seems to be no clear direction on the restructuring of the international financial institutions. That's according to Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who was speaking in Trinidad at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, CHOGM. Mr. Golding says he is concerned that once the economic crisis is over, the interests of middle-income developing countries like Jamaica might be forgotten. He says developing countries should be allowed to present their own case to the leaders in the Group of 20, the G20. Meanwhile, at a working session of the Heads of Government meeting, the leaders adopted a statement on climate change. It calls for the strongest possible outcome in Copenhagen and for a dedicated stream of funding for small island states. Cabinet submissions are being prepared to ease the way for the repeal of 14 local government laws. This follows the completion of consultations on the local government reform process. Once Cabinet has reviewed these submissions, it is expected that drafting instructions will be issued for the necessary amendments. The intention is to create 3 key acts that better reflect the roles and functions of local authorities. Minister of State with responsibility for local government, Robert Montague, says the legislative reform is necessary to successfully implement the recommendations of the National Advisory Council. In the meantime, the Justice Ministry is now reviewing recommendations to anchor local government in the Constitution. 40 St. Mary families have moved into new houses courtesy of Food for the Poor and Member of Parliament for South East St. Mary, Tarn Peralto. Food for the Poor was the major contributor, but $2 million was also sourced through the Constituency Development Fund, the CDF. Residents, meanwhile, provided labor to the effort. Member of Parliament, Tarn Peralto, says while there is still much more to be done, this donation represents an important start.
It is probably many more who need housing facility and units. But we have started. We have started with 40 units, and we will continue to work with Food for the Poor, understanding the constraints of their deliverables, but realizing that this is a start. And so we look forward to working with them and being able in the near future to have more recipients receive a housing units.
The beneficiaries were handed their keys in a recent ceremony at the Social Development Commission's Cape Clear office. And finally in the news, some 385 students at 3 St. Catherine schools are now benefiting from the use of educational material donated by the Jamaica Information Service. The supplies were handed over to Newlands Basic, Sergeantville All Age and Seafield Primary and Infant School last Friday. Acting radio manager at the JIS, Alvalin Ziblair, made the presentations on behalf of the agency's Chief Executive Officer, Donna Marie Rowe. She urged the school community to use the publications wisely for their development. The donations includes books, flags and pictures of the country's national heroes. Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us, Jamaica Magazine continues.
To be as organic as possible. I'm a healthy eater. If I had a choice, I wouldn't.
Children fess up about their eating habits.
What they're having when you're not looking.
Are you serving their interests?
What will they take and how will they have it?
Hear them call the shots.
I'd like it in a salad with a little dressing. I would like it to be refrigerated. This cannot pick food.
Are they ignoring what's packed in the lunch bag?
Are they eating what you are eating?
Oh, that's just a boring banana. My daddy take me to McDonald's. It's really tempting.
Starting Friday, November 27, Jamaica Magazine puts the questions to them.
Children and nutrition, just how much importance is being placed on the issue?
Is it at all important to you? Tune in to Jamaica Magazine for the next 2 Mondays.
And Fridays as the children inform us.
That's Children and Nutrition, Friday, November 27.
Monday, November 30.
Friday, December 4.
And Monday, December 7.
Thanks for staying with us. It's time now for a recap of the Prime Minister's weekly happenings.
Thanks for tuning in once again to Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Andrea Chisholm. It was a week in which Prime Minister Bruce Golding toured various places with Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete during his 3-day state visit to Jamaica.